Hi everybody. So tonight the Grammys were hijacked in favor of Hamas agenda as
don't care, didn't ask, free Palestine.
Welcome everyone. It's always a pleasure having you on my channel. If you're new here, then please subscribe, like, and don't forget to be part of the conversation by simply sharing your thoughts in the comment section down below. Now today we delve into a topic that has sparked intense discussions: the recent Grammy Awards and the controversy surrounding Annie Lennox's call for a ceasefire. We've all watched that clip and we've all heard how this lady is accusing the event was hijacked in favor of a Hamas agenda. Now this has stirred considerable backlash, with opinions diverging on whether such platforms are appropriate for political statements and the complexities surrounding the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. So join me as different people share their thoughts on this lady's video, as Annie Lennox openly called for a ceasefire. But before the Grammys, a group of Palestine protesters in the rains blocked traffic so that people could not make it to the Grammys, which others feel is some great news. But check out these videos for more context. I will be right back, and when I do, we talk more about this.
Hi everybody. So tonight the Grammys were hijacked in favor of Hamas agenda as singer Annie Lennox called for a ceasefire, denying Israel's right to defend itself and also not calling for the release of the hostage. So basically giving Hamas exactly what they wanted. You know, I think that next time a singer wants to do something that's good for humanity, they should probably call on the release of innocent women and a baby and a toddler from the hands of a terrorist organization. I think that's probably a good idea.
I need this woman to stop. By the way, her videos have been like this well before October 7th. I've been going insane well before October 7th with Noah Tishby. Videos are always like Hamas, hijacking, Deborah Messing sometimes. I need people to know that this is the same woman who ran a media campaign against Shirin after Shirin already lost her life. The same woman who considers Palestinian events before October 7th again hijacking. And the tone gets me. Tonight, the Grammys were hijacked. I'm going crazy.
What is it like to be you? I genuinely wonder what it's like to be a Hasbara influencer today. For anyone who's unfamiliar, Hasbara refers to pro-Israel propaganda, typically that which has been funded. And I really wonder what it is like to have to get ethically and intellectually obliterated every single day, and then have to turn around and just make a new TikTok the next day where you're trying to sell new logical fallacies and the same crusty, dusty old Zionist talking points that no longer are cutting it because people finally know better. What is it like to have your legacy be polishing the unpolishable turd that is Zionism, that gets more unpolishable every day with every single child unalived? What is that like?
Damn, they just let anybody into the Grammys now, don't they? Oh, no, I'm not talking about Annie Lennox. I'm talking about whoever this is. Yep, there was a huge moment at the Grammys this year. Annie Lennox openly called for a ceasefire. Not only that, but Esperanza Spalding also wore keffiyeh on the red carpet. Not only that, but before the Grammys, a group of pro-Palestine protesters in the pouring rain blocked traffic so people could not make it to the Grammys. That's nothing but good news to me. Can somebody tell me who this is though? I have no idea who she is. Can't be that relevant with that like to comment ratio.
So a lot of pro-Hamas supporters stitch this video. They actually stitch every single one of Noah's videos. I think they're obsessed with her, so good for you, queen. But anyways, I thought I'd stitch it too because the Hamas supporters have their own definitions of words, such as the word ceasefire. For the Hamas supporters, a ceasefire means that Israel seizes and Hamas and other groups fire. Annie Lennox, the female Raja Waters, also referred to this definition of a ceasefire when she had her inspiring performance. However, for the rest of the sane world, a ceasefire means that both sides stop fighting, stop firing. And especially for the side that started this mess, are people, 30 of which I believe to be confirmed to be unalived, return the rest of them and surrenders. A ceasefire to Annie Lennox and the rest of the terrorizers means that Hamas gets to continue to fire unalived Jews, great women, and keep our... And they want Israel to do nothing. Now you can understand how we can't allow that to happen. That's what Noah meant by her video. You can't call for a ceasefire when that side is not ceasefiring and still has... We all want a ceasefire. We don't like wars, unlike the Palestinians, which were celebrating 10/7, but we don't celebrate wars. In fact, we want a ceasefire, and that will come at the service and the return of the remaining...
So you're saying that Hamas has a big... Are we going to talk about the 4.7 million donated to Democrats by IPAC, Israel, or the 2.8 million donated to Republicans in 2024? So with the political and the financial backing of Germany, the UK, and America, Hamas has more financial backing than it's not real. Right. Either they have far more money than you and you aren't the superpower that you claim that you are, or your PR is horrible that you not compete with a simple truth. Or do you believe that Hamas has come up with a lie that's so beautifully told that all of us bought it, hook, line, and sinker, and finding no holes in their logic, while your illogic looking like Swiss cheese right now? By your own doing. By your own doing. And that's not counting they paid you. That's not counting the money that they paid you for you to make this propaganda. Ain't that something? Creators like me who are pro-revolution, who are pro-Palestine, who are pro-South Africa, who are pro-Sudan, pro-Congo, pro-Haiti, pro-Tigray, pro-Somalia. We don't make money on these apps because we are heavily suppressed and flagged, falsely flagged, to where we cannot make any money on here. So we're not doing this for money. We're doing it because it's right. But I'm no longer arguing with people like you and people who are sitting on the fence at this point. It's a moot point. I make these videos for everyone that is in the fight to remain in the fight and to remain fast. Remain steadfast. They're panicking. They're losing it. That means it's working. That means it's working. Keep applying that pressure. I love y'all. Y'all be safe. Y'all stay prayed up. Y'all stay woke. And by all means, keep making good trouble.
Now, as we dive into the heart of the controversy surrounding Annie Lennox's call for a ceasefire at the Grammy Awards, it's essential to recognize that Lennox herself may not be the focal point of contention. Instead, it's the comments made by this particular individual that has ignited widespread backlash. In this exploration, we aim to dissect the commenter's perspective, examining the nuances of her remarks and the ripple effects she's caused. By shifting our focus to the commenter's words, we can better understand the crux of the debate and the broader implications of injecting political discourse into high-profile entertainment events. Now, the Scottish artist Annie Lennox ended her performance at the 2024 Grammy Awards with a plea for peace in Gaza. Raising her fist into the air, the singer-songwriter 69 proclaimed "Artists for Ceasefire, Peace in the World," a proclamation that was met with cheers from the star-studded audience. Now, the Artists for Ceasefire movement began in the final months of last year in response to the Israel-Gaza war, with a number of prominent musicians, actors, filmmakers, and other multidisciplinary artists co-signing a message to US President Joe Biden demanding an end to the conflict and greater focus on humanitarian aid. We come together as artists and advocates, but most importantly as human beings, witnessing the devastating loss of lives and unfolding horrors in Israel and Palestine, said the statement on the collective's website last updated on January 24. Some of the prominent figures who added their names to the list include Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, to mention but just a few. We ask that as President of the United States, you and the US Congress call for an immediate de-escalation and ceasefire in Gaza and Israel before another life is lost. More than 25,000 people have been unalived over the last 3 months and over 60,000 injured, numbers that any person of conscience knows are catastrophic. We believe all life is sacred, no matter faith or ethnicity, and we condemn the unaliving of Palestinian and Israeli civilians, the statement read. Now, the statement went on to call for all world leaders to expedite an immediate ceasefire, the release of and help aid reach those in need in Gaza. We stand for freedom, justice, dignity, and peace for all people, and a deep desire to stop more bloodshed, the statement continued. We refuse to tell future generations the story of our silence, that we stood by and did nothing. As Emergency Relief Coordinator Martin Griffiths told UN News, history is watching. Now, Lennox was not the only artist to show support for the movement at the Grammys. The members of the indie supergroup, all marching white suits on the red carpet, each adorned with a red Artists for Ceasefire pin. Barker is one of the co-signees of the statement on the collective's website, but Brigger's and Darker's names were not previously listed. Annie's gesture of calling for a ceasefire was met with swift condemnation on social media, with former UN Special Envoy against anti-Semitism Noah Tishibi writing on Twitter or X, "Tonight the Grammys were hijacked in favor of Hamas agenda." Now, hijacking typically refers to the act of taking control of something, often forcibly or without authorization, and redirecting it for one's own purposes. Now, in this context, what this lady was trying to say is she was claiming that the Grammy Awards were hijacked in favor of the Hamas agenda, suggesting that the event was manipulated or utilized to promote the political views or objectives associated with Hamas, a Palestinian political and militant group. Now, this implies that the original purpose or nature of the event was altered or overridden for political advocacy, according to her. Now, this comment is so insensitive or inappropriate given the context of Annie Lennox's call for a ceasefire, which involves a complex and sensitive geopolitical issue. The comment is dismissive of the broader conversation around the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and I perceive it as an attempt to silence Lennox's advocacy or anyone who's trying to advocate for the Palestinian people. Now, what I know is that calling for a ceasefire is a humanitarian appeal aiming to halt violence and protect civilians, so it shouldn't be in favor of any specific group. In the midst of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, it's crucial to clarify that calling for a ceasefire is a humanitarian plea, not an endorsement of any specific group. This appeal is rooted in the shared goal of minimizing harm and fostering peace for all those affected. So let's keep in mind the overarching commitment to human rights, empathy, and the well-being of civilians caught in the crossfire. Advocating for a ceasefire transcends political affiliations, emphasizing a collective yearning for a more peaceful and just resolution to a deeply entrenched conflict. But what do you, my viewers, have to say about this video? Share your views in the comment section. Thank you for always watching, and see you in my next video.